All right, y'all, we about to get started. As you can see, this is our first lunch time edition of the Liquidity Event. Of course, we got room to grow, but I'm glad that y'all are some of the first to experience what we have going on. We have some very distinguished speakers with us, myself included, right? But no, we definitely appreciate y'all for coming out, and this is going to be a regular monthly thing. The fourth Thursdays of each month. We already have another one scheduled for November 21st, so please mark your calendars. Please bring like-minded, very positive individuals, people who, want to work with people and who want to, come together and do business. I have somebody that's probably going to give you some of the best information you've probably heard in a long time. Am I overselling it?
Oh, I think you are.
I joined the program. If you're not familiar, it's a program called Thrive that's powered by the SBA, the Small Business Administration. If you're not familiar with it, you definitely need to get involved. It's an accelerator, and I think in a 6-month time frame, it helps you accelerate your business and put it together. This is how I met Jonel Hein. When I say helpful, right? Somebody that you can reach out to that's responsive, that's going to respond to your emails, that's going to give you good advice. She is loaded with it, and she is the district director?
District director, yeah. Sounds loftier than
y'all heard of directors, right? But when you got the district director, it's somebody important. So I want to please welcome to the stage district director of this of the local Small Business Administration, Jonel Hein. Thank you.
Thank you. I know I was an add-on at the last minute, so I'm not going to steal any of TR's thunder, who's going to come up here, but thank you, Randolph, for letting me come and speak to everybody. There's lots that we do. Small Business Administration has been around for almost 71 years. I haven't been there that long. 33 years, I will say that. My first 30 were in Miami, in the South Florida district. Now I've moved up here 3 years ago to the North Florida. We're based out of Jacksonville, that's our main office, and then we have an office in Orlando as well. But we cover the upper 43 counties of the state. As Randolph said, I am the district director. I'm in charge of the operations of our office and making sure that we go out and educate small business owners on what it is that we do, what we offer, how we can help. But I have 11 people total to do it with. So we rely on partnerships and people like Randolph who allow us to come and take a little bit of the time on their agenda to tell you what's going on with us. He mentioned the Thrive program. That's one of the things that we offer. There's actually 4 pillars that SBA covers. One is consulting and mentorship through our resource partner network. You may have heard of some of them, which are SCORE offices, our small business development centers. We have the Jacksonville Women's Business Development Center, and we also have the Veteran Business Outreach Center in the Panhandle that covers the state of Florida. Those are entities that SBA has actually provided funding for, and you, as a small business owner, get the benefit because you can go to them and get one-on-one consulting, mentoring on any topic or subject that has to do with your business life cycle for free. Your taxpayer dollars have already paid for that. Now, they do have some programming, maybe a webinar or a conference or something like that they might charge for, but the one-on-one consulting is always free, it's confidential, and it's actually very high class, I will say. Most of them have gone through some sort of certification degree in order to consult people. But I've never owned my own small business. Like I said, I've been a federal employee for 33 years, so I'm not the best person to tell someone how to start or run their business. What I can tell you is the programs that we have and others that I know about in the area that can assist you. The second thing we do is financing. A lot of people understand and know, especially since the pandemic, that SBA was involved with the PPP loans and the COVID EIDL loans, right? Well, we have a whole suite of traditional lending programs that we do as well called guaranteed loans. And those are done through our participant lenders. We don't provide direct funding. We offer a guarantee to our lenders for them to do a loan they wouldn't necessarily do on their own. So if you have an issue, like maybe not enough collateral to secure your loan, you're in a startup business, which is inherently risky, those are the reasons that typically a lender will attach our guarantee to a loan. They can go anywhere from under 50,000 in our microlending program up to 5 million. So we really have a program that can fit almost everybody. Government contracting, again, not going to steal TR's thunder, but we do have some certification programs that can allow you to get access to bidding on contracts with a smaller bidding pool if you decide to go that route. Although, like I said, I'm going to let TR talk about the government contracting 101 so you can decide for yourself if that's for you. The other thing is crisis. So consulting, capital, contracting, and crisis is what we do. Crisis meaning disaster. And I wanted to really talk about this today because this has been impacting our state for more than a couple of years. We had Ian, we had Nicole, we had Adalia, we had Debbie, Helene, now Milton. So what a lot of people don't realize is that SBA has funding programs to help you get back to whole if you're a business, any size business or nonprofit. Homeowner, most people don't realize that we assist homeowners in our disaster programs, and renters. And again, it's to get you back to whole. We have certain limitations on it. You have to be able to say that your business was up and running prior to the event. It has to be located in one of the declared counties. If you're interested about that, I've got a couple of flyers with me that they give you a website, sba.gov/disaster. And that will tell you what counties you might actually be eligible for. Go ahead, sir. These are loans through FEMA. The other thing is that we are a sister agency of FEMA, especially during disasters. And FEMA now has changed some of their programs, and they have some grants that are available now for businesses, which wasn't available before. So again, if you're affected, and I will tell you that for Helene, Duval County is counted as a primary county, meaning if you had physical loss or economic injury, you can apply for both of those. We have what's primary counties and then contiguous counties. The primary counties are those that have physical loss typically. It could be anything from you lost your power for a couple of days, you lost a fence, you lost your roof, lots of different things for houses, for businesses as well, anything that's affecting your business in the physical nature. Economic injury is the other part of what we do. Again, that's a little bit longer to determine, I'll say that. The physical injury you're going to see right away. Storm hits, you've got something, you can see it. The economic injury may be because you lost a vendor that you're working with because they got blown out by a storm. It may be that you lost clients. Your clients aren't able and up and running, operating, and therefore aren't taking your product or service. It could be that your employees may decide they don't want to live in Florida no more. You know, we've been getting too much of Mother Nature's goodwill lately, and they want to get out of town, right? So anything like that that would impact the working capital position of your business, if you can tie it to the fact that it was related to the storm, it can be a loan that you can get. So nonprofits as well, yes. In the disaster program. Our regular traditional programs are not for nonprofits, but in this program, yes, it's open to all. The maximum amount for a business loan is $2 million. For physical or economic injury. For homeowners and renters, it's $500,000. For the contents, if you're a renter or a homeowner and you've lost your contents, that's up to $100,000. They're fixed rate loans, typically under 4%, yes, for as long a term as we can write it to make it able for you to repay. The max we can go is 30 years like we did on the COVID EIDL loans. We don't always go that far out on our disaster loans. But I'm here to let you know that you may not know this yet because we haven't set up disaster recovery centers here yet. It's coming. I'm trying to get one actually done in my office because we have free parking and it's easy to get to. But there will be more information coming out. So I'm going to give flyers to Randolph, and if you guys want to pick them up. Some of them are geared towards homeowners, some are renters, one that's more generic for all. But just wanted to let you know that the funding is out there and available now. The other thing, if you were impacted by storms, is that the state of Florida has an emergency bridge loan program. That program goes up to $50,000. It's for for-profit entities, and it's no interest for the first year because it's supposed to be used as a bridge. And if you get approved for that and then get approved for SBA funding, our loan can take that loan out. So you don't have to worry about having two different debts at that point. But that's kind of what I wanted to say. All of our resource partners that I mentioned before can assist you with these applications. It's not that difficult. And when we actually get the recovery centers, I'll make sure that Randolph gets a list of them, and that way he can spread it out to everybody that came today. So, but any questions? we're working on that. They're surge hiring right now to get more people to be on the ground for that. So we're waiting for that. They went over to the areas that were hardest hit first, and then they're going to be coming over this way. Duval just got declared as a primary. So as soon as it gets declared a primary, then they'll set up a center. So yeah. And I have business cards if anybody wants business cards. So you got it. Just pass those around. And then, thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Oh man, thank you so much. Did y'all learn anything? I'm sure you did. All right. So what we're doing is because we like to encourage, good behavior when it comes to owning a business. Always do what you say you're going to do. Always say please and thank you. Always arrive on time. One of the things that we're doing is we give people things for coming on time. And I want to give a shout out to Anthony Calhoun for being the first person to arrive. So, we live in humid, hot Florida, so we got him a neck fan.
Oh, yeah, I need a neck fan.
Hey, please tell people about your business, what you do, and who is your perfect customer.
Well, my name is Anthony Calhoun. I'm the owner of Fight the Good Fight Fitness and Nutrition. And I'm a mobile personal trainer, and I'm also a certified massage therapist. So I bring the gym to you. So if you're one of those people that you don't want to go inside of a gym and you want the convenience of someone actually coming to you and training you and giving you health tips, search no more. You can contact me. I'll give you my card or what have you. But my number is 904-271-0881. Thank y'all.
Oh man, he's the fitness person and the massage therapist. He'll beat you up and then apologize about it. I'm so sorry. All right, y'all. We're gonna have one more. Let me get this raffle. Can you please bring me the raffle stuff? So I know y'all probably want to skip right to these MetaQuest 3s, right? But we got to tease you, right? This pair is actually better than the pair that I have, so let's see. All right, so what we're doing this time is the magic bullet. All right. So if you want to, chop up your fruit and smoothie on the go, right, and then drink it from the bottle like an unhoused person. I heard that's the new. You can't say homeless no more. It's unhoused. Yeah, can't say homeless no more. Apparently, it's unhoused. I was unhoused for a long time. All right. So let's see. And just so y'all know how to root, we put everybody in here, but only the people that are here actually gets to win. So we might call some names of people who did not make it. Tashonda Bryan isn't here yet. I know they were coming from out of town, but Tashonda, you would have won. All right, let's see. This is for the magic bullet. This isn't a conspiracy. There was a name that wasn't supposed to be in the raffle that I forgot to tell Sierra, but that person would have won something. Mystery, suspense. You'll never know. Tamar Clark. I know I saw her. She went to the restaurant. Oh no, I must be thinking about the wrong person. All right. Well, that person wasn't here. Damn, Robert Bryant. I know he on his way with his wife, Tashonda. Oh man, we making it. Veneer DuPont. Am I pronouncing it right? Yeah. So please tell people, who are you, what do you do, and who would be your perfect customer?
Okay, my name is Vania DuPont. I am one of the CEO of Orange Park Driving and Traffic School in Jacksonville, Florida, which is 6010 Dukley Road. I've been serving this community for the past 18 years and teaching people how to drive. And if the license is suspended, it's me. If they are under pressure, they don't have a license, it's me. And also, I am one of the CEO for All-State Income Tax. I own business taxes also, All-State. And also, I have a furniture store called DuPont Furniture, and it's in Orange Park. And I thank God for everything that He's giving me. It's a blessing. And being in this group, which is, I can say, Thrive, one of the students of the Thrive SBA, I learned a lot, and I thank God because He put me around these people with knowledge. And I thank you guys for inviting me today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, man. One more raffle. And we're going to be raffling off the Don Julio. Brian Highsmith. There you go, Brian. I think did you win last time? No. You're just lucky. Will you tell people who are you, what are you doing, who will be your perfect customer?
Yes, my name is Brian Highsmith. I'm the owner of Highsmith Solutions. I'm also a licensed insurance agent. I do life and health insurance, but also do electrical and HVAC services. Mm-hmm. So,
who your perfect customer?
My perfect customer, everybody.
Somebody that's hot, your AC went out, and you feel like you're about to die. You need insurance, and you need.
And I also do a little bit of small business consulting as well.
Appreciate you, bro. Right. Thank you so much.
Oh, I forgot, veteran-owned business as well.
And if anybody don't know about those set-asides, I don't know if Jonel mentioned them, but if you are a minority-owned business, woman-owned business, veteran-owned business, there are what they call set-asides that you could qualify for in your company. If I'm saying set-asides and it sounds unfamiliar to you, Jonel is the person. TR going to talk about it. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Did I step on your toes? All right. 5 more minutes. We're going to be bringing up TR. And this isn't it. The entree is going to be coming out soon, y'all. That's what you've been waiting on?
Sir? Card? You're a licensed electrician?
I don't know, it took me out of seeing. Okay. I was seeing stuff so much like where I would be seeing muscle in my mind, and then being subjected to that for 5 months, it just felt so weird that I was just like,
you don't look at it the same way,
yeah,
right?
I don't look at it. Well, the other thing is like we have two schedules of people off public. And in order to draw somebody, you gotta see the shoulder line. So I was
Motivated buyers. I love motivated.
How about it?
Baby, he finished. Let's get started.
I've been in Tuskegee before because I'm away. That was my first time.
Man, if it was, I feel like I gotta pinch myself sometime, man. What about yourself?
About to say that.
Oh yeah, with the new way of thinking in the program, man, y'all been killing it, man. I've been going back and watching y'all. Setting how Sierra doing?
Got what they call the houses that.
Oh yeah, she got it in her, and she really is the one that got my company on track. That's why I'm like, all right. I mean,
You just gotta get it.
And bring in the integrator. What? So next week, what y'all integrator coming into the meet? That's what I'm talking about.
Maya's going to be the assistant. Because I'm trying to think about it. Because I know how her brain is. But even when she was little, because her 3 years apart, my son's
Because they don't have an SVP.
Remember when we tried to teach Maya how to type?
They don't have an SVP.
She could not get it. I mean, it drove us nuts. Maya, she was in the room with her brother. Her shoes came out tight. I told her, I said, stop tying her shoes. She has to learn how to tie. I said, Mom, and my shoes on. So I tied her shoes. I said, I'm going to see. And she did it.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's
They got the military
so
stuff.
Robert, something about how he
I would say yeah.
so
Yeah, if I could pick somewhere, Huntsville.
for some reason he gets
And anything she doesn't understand, he knows how to explain it. There you go.
ever since they was
They were taking us by the whole
Oh, he wrote? About to bring you up, brother.
process and all that stuff.
Oh no, but that's the thing. See, the tough people that I know,
Oh no, I'm
that's
not.
tough to
No.
everybody, you know, to
I
their
don't think
close
that they-
people. Oh no, it's not that much. Like they're
Just
very
paid for a
sensitive.
part of the
But I
museum.
need
'Cause we were there
the
on the
rest of the
museum
world.
tour.
That's like having like a real
And we
nice
went through the
dog
museum.
that's big. I
So
need the rest
if
of the
you ever
world to
get the chance
think
to
you
go
a
to
bulldog.
Montgomery, go to the Eco Justice Initiative Museum. And we went 2 weeks after they opened the Monument Park. There's a ball and chain in that Monument Park as big as this table.
So he's saying the right things.
There's
he's
a
just
wall
giving it to you
like
raw.
50 feet high, as long as this building, with all the last names of every known and documented slave. So I went, because my family's from Alabama. I looked up Birmingham, Bowler G, Phoenix City. We're all over. And
Okay, everybody.
I looked up my granddaddy's last
I hope
name.
y'all
What is
getting to know each other. I hope y'all, you know, if you haven't already started trading contacts and emails and cards, that all of that, the main entree is on its way out. But before we bring up TR, about to do one more raffle, and then we're going to bring up TR, one of the most baritone voice men I ever met in my life. But you'll see. But let's see. All right, this is again for the neck fan. Hold on.
Put them back in.
Okay, I had put his name back in here. This dude is extra lucky, y'all. He got inside my head and I put his name back in there. Dominique Hatton? Going once? Going twice? No. Shantina Davis. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Oh no. Oh no. You gotta talk. Please tell people who are you, what are you doing, who your perfect customer is.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shantina Davis, and I'm a physician assistant. I am the owner of Faith Wellness Center, which is a medical clinic that's located here in Jacksonville. I have been servicing the area for 10 years in business, but I've been a PA almost 20 years, so like 19 years. Just recently, I started a nonprofit organization called Ablaze Glory Ministries, and we are hosting our first event, which is the Jacksonville Citywide Crusade, November the 16th. If you want to be a part, want more information, definitely you can reach out to me. And so the nonprofit, we're pretty much here to serve the people for the kingdom of God. So if you need any assistance or help, we are here to help out, connect, and that type of thing. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. All right, y'all. So who knows who the biggest purchasers of services and goods and products is in the United States?
Recording in progress.
The government, right? Right? And we have TR Richardson, somebody that's going to give you some great information on how you as a business owner can tap in to this person of this establishment of persons that are willing to help you out. You know, some of the tips, the tricks, and some of the facts that you need to know, all right? All right, so please give a big hand to my friend, my colleague, and member of the Beats Committee, which is a franchise and business owner summit that we're putting together in Tuskegee, Alabama. Give a hand for Tuskegee, for TR Richardson.
All right, everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much, Mr. Love, for teeing me up, and Jonel and everybody else as well. I don't know if this is the most baritone voice you've ever heard, if you've ever heard Barry White or any of those other people. But if you've never heard my voice or you don't know my name is TR Richardson. I am the Chief Training Officer of Richwood International. We provide high-impact performance development, training, coaching, and consulting. We are a human capital development agency. So I'll tell you a little bit about us in the beginning, in a little bit. However, today we're here and we're going to talk a little bit about government contracting. So raise your hand if you know a little bit about government contracting already. Okay. Tell me what you know about government contracting, sir.
First, you got to register on the SAM system.
Okay, register on SAM. We'll talk about that a little bit. What about yourself, young lady? You know,
It's very competitive.
it's very competitive. Tell me more. Okay, you gotta have your ducks in a row. Okay, very, very important. Anyone else know anything about government contracting that they courageous enough to share? Ms. Jonel, yes, ma'am. SBA, the Small Business Administration. So there's some resource partners in there as well, okay? So we're gonna talk about an introduction to government contracting in general today. So I wanna give you all some strategies and modalities that you can use if you've never heard about government contracting before, or if you know a little bit about it, but you don't necessarily know a lot, or you've been going down the YouTube rabbit hole and you don't know who to believe. I want to be able to clear up some things today. So today we're going to talk about how to grow, how to start, scale, succeed, and sustain in government contracting. So we'll do a brief introduction here. What's the purpose today? To educate you all as small business owners. And I heard we've got a couple of different businesses and industries in here. So I know we've got fitness. What other industries do we have in here today, small business owners? So we got real estate, medical, beauty. Okay, what other industry do we have? Financial advising. What type of contracting? HVAC, okay. So AC, HVAC. All of those things are in government contracting in one way or another. Even myself, when I first heard about government contracting, I was actually going through the Jax Bridges program a couple years ago. And if you know Dr. Carlton, anyone in here going through Jax Bridges know Dr. Carlton? Dr. Carlton pulled me aside one day and he said, you know you can do what you're doing in government contracting, right? See, to me, government contracting seemed like something for construction, something for landscaping, something for hard services or hard products and people who sell products to the government. We don't sell product, we sell a service. So it seemed foreign to me. But Dr. Robinson, he let me know that we could provide the same services that we were already providing in the private space, in the corporate space, in all of our industries that we were already successful. We didn't have to reinvent the wheel. All we had to do was open our minds to this different industry and this different division for the government. And we provide the same services that we do over there now in another market. So if you're looking for ways to increase your revenue, if you're looking for ways to grow, if you're looking for ways to scale, I want to introduce you to a little bit more about government contracting. And we'll talk about the 3 different levels that you can do it on as well, because it's simple to do, but it's not always easy to do. Just because it's simple doesn't make it easy. And we'll talk about some of those different things today. But really what I want to give you is practicum-based pathways. When you go and you hear a lot about government contracting, when you go down YouTube, when you go to even some of these resources, they may give you a lot of theory, things that work in theory or on paper or in general for everyone. But what about those things that are tailored in practice, in the real world, specifically for you? Specifically for your business, to give you roadmaps based off of how you work and what works for you and your business and your goals. So I want to give you a couple of different pathways and real world practicum-based strategies and modalities that you can actually start using and implementing today. So as I shared with you, and as you already know, we've already kind of talked about this, the government is the world's largest procurer of goods and services. So when you hear about pens, toilet paper, prosthetic wigs for cancer patients in the military, all of those things come through government contracting, and they have a NAICS code, and we'll talk about some of those different things. But remember, government contracting provides you, for those who are looking for ways to have an additional revenue stream, they can provide you with some longer term contracts. Anyone in here, when you got into business, you were trying to make as much money as you could, just trying to make money from wherever you could. Then we made the money. Then we had to keep making the money and keep finding clients and keep doing that, rinsing and repeating. Government contracts provide you with a little bit longer and sometimes a little bit more stable long-term contracts, because these contracts, they usually are for a year or two, and many of them have options to renew for up to 2, 3, 4, 5 years. There's even on a federal level something called an IDIQ, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. which means that once you sign up and you get selected into the government's pool, you no longer have to bid. They will come to you in that pre-selected pool for an indefinite delivery of services in an indefinite quantity for, I believe, up to 20 years. So these are things that you can really grow and sustain your business through what you're already doing, but also through this other avenue of government contracting. And what I love about it is, remember, there's no upskilling. You're not going to have to learn something new unless you want to do something new. But you can take the service that you already have for your existing private clients, personal clients, corporate clients, and now you just have government clients as well, providing those same or similar services. Any questions so far? All right, so government contracting, by definition, government contracting is how government entities procure goods and services from private businesses. So the government isn't like a regular person. If I need the wall, say for example, I need this wall painted, or I think I need this wall painted, I turn around, I don't necessarily like this wall. If I'm the government, I can't just go down the street to Sherwin-Williams and go buy paint and paint the wall. I can't necessarily go on my phone and see who I know that's a painter and call my cousin because I know him and come and paint that wall. The government has to have what's called fair open market competition, which means that they have to release that opportunity to everybody through the form of a solicitation. The most common solicitation form is called an RFP, a request for proposal, where the government is letting you know, hey, we've got these services that we think that we need done. We're requesting that your business submit a proposal and tell us about how you can satisfy this need for us. Tell us all about the benefits of what you're going to do, the deliverables that we're going to receive from you from providing this service. That's the things that you're going to put in your proposal response, among other things. But it allows you to be able to compete on opportunities in the government space, whether it's on the local, state, or federal level. Because you have the local level, for example, when we look at the school system, the local level is what? DCPS, so Duval County Public Schools, right? They're down there on Prudential, down at the end. But on a state level, we have what? The Florida Department of Education, right? And then on the federal level, we just have the United States Department of Education. So that's how I want you to think about government contracting on a local, state, and federal level. And you can pick how you want to play it, whatever works best for you. So some people, they want to go big, they want to go national, they play on the federal level. Some people, they want to stay local, or they want to grow, at least starting through local, so they start on a local level or a state level. So you can pick and grow however what works best for your business for you to grow and scale. So I share with you the different levels between local, state, and federal, and a couple of different contract types like IDIQ, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, RFP, request for proposal, which is the most common proposal type, and then RFQ, which may stand for request for qualifications or request for a quote, depending on if you're playing on a federal or a local or state level. Those are just a couple of the different most common solicitation types. Any questions so far? All right. All right, so what opportunities are there in government contracting? As I share with you, the local government, that's going to focus on the smaller, more community-based projects that are specific to a local location. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in that local location. I can be in Jacksonville and not do business in Jacksonville because I do business with the local government of Miami-Dade County. So I want you, or Orlando, or Tampa, or wherever that local government or municipality may be. And depending on how the local government is set up, it may be a city, it may be a county, it may be a municipality. Those are different depending on where you are and who you're targeting on a local level. But that's going to be for those projects that are on a local level here, just like I talked about with DCPS. The state contracts, those are the ones that are state funded. So that may be, for example, when you go on an I-95 or any interstate in Jacksonville, or really right now, at some point you're going to hit construction. That's FDOT, the Florida Department of Transportation, because the interstate goes all around the state of Florida, right? So it's not just going to be someone in Jacksonville. That's more of a state contract for the state of Florida to service the roads in the state of Florida. And then last but not least, like we talked about, federal, that's a larger, more complex reach. That's involving the military and those larger federal organizations. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do federal work on a local level. For example, we have military bases here. We have Mayport, we've got NAS Jax, there's Kingsland Bay, all the Tri-County bases around here. That's going to be federal work, comes through the federal work. But it's here, the place of performance is local. So the place of performance is local, but in order to procure it through the military, that's going to be on the federal level. So I want you all to understand that, remember, you can plug and play and figure out what works best for you, but I just want to give you a clear foundation on the different things that you can do here. So what are the criteria for doing government contracting? If you're interested in having the government as a client on the local, state, or federal level, how do you actually do that? Well, you're going to need to register with sam.gov. And here's the thing about registering with sam.gov. You need to register with sam.gov if you're getting paid directly by the government. I want to be clear with that. So why am I saying it that way? Because you don't necessarily need to be registered on SAM to search for opportunities. You don't necessarily need to be registered on SAM to use some more of the creative procurement opportunities that come through partnering and subcontracting and things like that. However, if you want to have a contract directly with the government, where the government is directly paying your business, you need to be registered in sam.gov. You need to have a case code and a UEI number. Because if you don't, let's say, for example, you have a government contract, and this is something that you have to renew on an annual basis, and your SAM code or your UEI and your case code expires, you got a government contract, but the government can't pay you. Exactly, you don't want those problems. We want to have a government contract, and we want to be payable by the government, especially if it's a contract that's directly to us. So make sure that you're renewing your case code, your EIN through sam.gov on an annual basis and being proactive and not letting it lapse or expire, because it's a lot harder to reinstate than it is to just continue it and to do it for the next year. So you got to register. Then remember, we talked about the financial stability and understanding knowing your business. So you got to have financial stability and past performance. Now, there are a couple of creative ways that you can get past performance for government contracting, through things like teaming, through things like partnering, through things like white label 1099 subcontracting. That allows you to be able to say, yes, I've done work for the government on your capability statement. Also, you got to have the financial stability. And I always like to spotlight this because we all want to get the money, but we got to be prepared to get the money from the government. So let's say, for example, you want to do business with the government, you go and you get registered and all of that, and you find an opportunity that you like. It's in your area, it's in your service offerings. You see that the opportunity is $500,000, it's $600,000. It's $600,000 annually. Is that something that you would like? Okay, well, and I would too. However, one of the things that us as small businesses don't understand or don't pay attention to when we see those opportunities is that we have to be able to have the financial ability to handle those opportunities. And here's what I mean by that. $600,000 a year, that's $50,000 a month. Now, the government is going to pay you, but they don't always pay you on time. So if you have a government contract, you're going to have the financial stability to keep business going until they pay you. They will pay you, but sometimes it may be delayed. And that's what I mean. You got to be able, so in a $600,000 contract annually, how much money do I need to be able to float? What's the answer? From a math, 50 grand. There we go. I tried to make it easy. So 50 grand, I got to be able to have 50 grand just in case the government is a little bit late. To keep business going until they pay me, because I know that they're going to pay me, but there may be government shutdown. We don't know sometimes what happens with the government, holiday season, whatever it may be. So I want you to be aware of the financial stability that's required in government, and especially when we're doing those larger contracts above the simplified acquisition threshold of $250,000 on a federal level. Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that why we would need to talk with the SBA possibly for a loan?
You can definitely talk
And that's why you got to be able to leverage those resource partners like Jonel and the SBA, like the SBDC, like SCORE, all of these other things that I'll show you here in just a minute, where you want to be able to leverage these sources, especially because there's no cost for any of the ones that I just named. You're already the taxpayer, you're already paying for these sources. And remember, us as small business owners, some of the most limited resources that we have in the beginning of starting a small business is time, money, and people. So if we can find people that will come and we'll be able to leverage their knowledge, their skills, their resources, like you can through the SBA, the SBDC, SCORE, some of these other resource providers with technical assistance, then definitely leverage those resources. So you got to have the registration requirements and financial stability, and then we talked about certifications. These aren't required, but these are some things that can set you apart. Now, I always want to spotlight this to my small business owners. Please, 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 if you get a certification, if and when, do not lead with your certification. No one cares that you're a small business owner who's 8A or women-owned or veteran-owned or any of those things unless they already know the services that you provide and they know, like, and trust you, and they know that you provide quality services. Because we live in the real world. And in the real world, people do business with who they know, like, and trust. And if I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't trust you, and it sounds like you're just coming to me to get some money because you're associate, because you got this set aside and I got to meet these things. In the real world, sometimes agencies will not meet their metrics to work with people that they know are going to provide quality work, then take a chance meeting a metric with somebody that they don't have a relationship with. So this is why we want to let them know who we are, what we do, how we deliver value. Oh, and also, I can help you meet your metrics because I'm this, because I'm that, so on and so forth. But it doesn't come before my services and my products and the value that I deliver to you. Make sense? So never lead with your certifications. Definitely leverage them, but never lead with them. And then last but not least, we talked about the importance of knowing your business. In the beginning, we're figuring it out. We're building the plane while flying it. We're building the car while riding in it as small business owners, right? We're really trying to figure out, okay, what's the heart and soul and characteristics of our business? We've got to figure all of those things out before we try to do government contracting. Because you need to figure out what your NAICS code is. You need to figure out who you're targeting. Remember, the government's a large place. I don't just have to figure out which level I'm going to play on, local, state, and federal. I've got to figure out who I'm going to target on those levels too. So you want to make sure that you understand who you are, what you do, and how you do it so that you can confidently and concisely communicate that to the government in a way that they can understand and give you an opportunity. So I want to make sure that we are clear. Make sure that you understand your business before you go and try to do business with the government, because they're not going to do business with you if they ask you some questions and they automatically know, hey, you're not ready. You can't answer these questions about your business, let alone about government contracting. So make sure you know your business, because you can never get a first impression back. Uh-oh, wrong button. Uh-oh, come back to me, there it is. Just making sure y'all alert. Okay, here we go. Timelines and deadlines in government contracting. So I shared with you a couple of different solicitations. We got the solicitation release date. So the solicitation will get released, let's say, today. Then you'll have the proposal submission. So this is the date that it gets released. This is the date that it is due. You've got to have your response and what you're going to say to them, how you're going to do it, all of that value that you're going to deliver by that proposal due date, which also can be the opening date. And I know that's confusing, but they call it the opening date because that's when they open the solicitation. I just want to clear that up for those who are going to pursue this and just kind of give you a little bit of clarity before you get there. And then, so there's the post submission. They got to go, they got to figure out who they like. They're going to shortlist people. So usually they'll call you in for interviews. You get the contracting right. And then you got the contract award, which is the final stage. This is when you actually have the contract. You sign your name on the dotted line, and then you can start delivering your service delivery and meeting your project milestones. So this is very, very simple and concise. But this is kind of how that contracting goes in the simple 4 steps. We got the solicitation release date, the proposal submission date, when the contract is awarded, and when we actually begin service delivery. Questions? All right, Randolph, how long do I have? Mr. Love, how long do I have? I want to make sure as long as, okay, don't tell me. I'm like a Southern Baptist preacher up here.
That proposal submission,
Yes, sir.
I want to know, I mean, whatever, maybe off the record, but that proposal submission, that's, tell me what that means again.
So proposal submission, so let's go back to the painting, right? So I need this wall painted, right? I can't just go to Sherwin-Williams. We got to do what we do to get the solicitation ready. That's a whole thing. I could do a whole course on that. But we get the solicitation ready. The solicitation now comes out to the open market, right? That's the solicitation release date. Now, between, let's say it's open for a month, so it's due, I release it today, it's due next month on the same day. What's today, the 23rd? 24th. It's due November 24th, a month from now. And in that month, I've got to get my submission ready. Now, a lot of things happen in that month. There's pre-bid meetings that are mandatory and non-mandatory. There's question and answer periods, so on and so forth. Like I said, I got a whole course on this. But in that, just to keep it simple, in that month, we've got to get our proposal submission ready by the due date. Okay, so how do we plan and how do we prepare for government contracts for those who are interested? Well, it's always important to know where you're going with a plan and having some goals. So we want to ensure that you all have the capacity and resources that align with the requirements of the contracts that you all are pursuing. Make sure that you do your market research. And I know that that's a word that you probably have heard before, and you're going to hear again in the government contracting space. But really, this is for you to do some market research so that you can target who you're going to serve, who you're going to sell to, and what you're going to sell to them. Because you may need some additional things to prepare you for that. For example, he's talking about, I know Thrive has been mentioned here. So there's a person in our class that does, what does Justin do? He does aerotech.
Yeah, he does.
He works in space. He works in space. Seriously. So if you want to work in space, do you think that you would need to do something to prepare to work in space? That's what I'm saying. So make sure that wherever you're going, that you've done the research to know what you need to be prepared when you get there. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, with that being said, the government does have budgets and procurement cycles, and the government's fiscal year is not on the regular year. We are actually in Q1. October is the first month of the government fiscal year. So we actually just started the first month of the Q1 for the government contracting. And that allows us, if you know what the government procurement cycle is, it allows you to be able to play with strategies. For example, I know that we're in the first quarter right now, but the last quarter, July, August, and September, is open season. Budget burn. So can you tell us a little bit about what budget burn means, Jonel?
So for federal government contracting, in the space of working with federal budgets, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Yeah. So we have to use what we have, because otherwise people that are higher authorities than us will tell us, well, you obviously didn't use it this year, so you don't need it next year. So the last quarter, especially last year we were under what was called a continuing resolution for 6 months, which means that we were given a little bit of money to do our normal operations, but it was based on what we did the previous year. And during a CR, unless it's due to national security or something like that, new government contracts aren't written. So that's the other thing you have to remember, is that when you're targeting these agencies, they may not be accepting or writing new contracts right now. So during the CR, which we're in right now until December 20th, there won't be a lot of new contracts written, but they'll give you a little bit of money to do what you need to do. That pushed us last year, where the last quarter, as TR said, was a big scramble to get all the money spent. Because we got full year funding at about March, April, and then we had till September to spend it all. So, you know, if you want to do government contracting, now is the perfect time to start doing your research on those agencies, getting those contacts, getting them to know that you exist, so that when these contracts come out, you're not an unknown quantity, right? You're going to industry days, you're going to matchmakers, you're going to events that TR holds and Randolph holds where they can bring some contracting people in. But everyone's got a little bit different schedule too. Locally, I think they end June, right? It's the end of the fiscal year for the school board. So the timing is everything when you're doing government contracts. Always, timing is huge.
Anybody want the government to burn their budget on you? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Burn it on me. There we go. There we go. Get a little piece of that burn money. Because remember, like Jonel said, in order to get it next year, I got to use it all this year. So if I haven't used it by the last quarter, I'm figuring out ways to do it. And that's why we employ strategies like capability briefings, like unsolicited proposals, and some of the things that I'll talk about here in just a little bit. So creating a winning proposal. How do we do that? Well, you got to understand how to read the proposal first. Anyone ever here read a proposal before? Read a solicitation advertisement? Okay, and you know if you've read it before that it could sometimes be 10 pages. Sometimes it's 100 pages. I was doing something with one of my clients out at the airport for Concourse B. They had an RFP that was like 988 pages. So you've got, yeah. So how do we go through and find out the information of what the government is actually wanting us to do? So you got to understand how to read the RFP, how to read the solicitation. You also, we suggest to you the power of building relationships and doing what we call moving to the left of the procurement life cycle towards where there is no cone of silence. So this is one of the terms that you'll see common in government contracting, a contract officer. I want you to understand that government contracting is a vicarious purchase. What do I mean by that? Similar to when you buy a toy for your child or your niece. You don't use that toy. The child or the niece uses the toy. So the person who purchases it, isn't the person who actually is the end user. And it's the same way in government contracting. The contract officer is the purchaser. The program manager or the director is the user. So I want you all to understand that when we start talking capability briefings and you'll hear, oh, talk to the contract officer, talk to the CRO or the core, all of those different things. Move as far left as possible to not only the contract officer, but even a step further to the procurement manager or to the program manager and director, because they are the ones who are actually saying, I think I need this wall painted. And then they go to procurement and say, hey, find someone to paint that wall for me. Does that make sense? Yes. All right, so key industries and opportunities. So I know that we talked about some different industries. There is some big space and opportunity in defense and IT right now. There's always things in construction, healthcare, and manufacturing. But no matter what your opportunity is or what your industry is, there is some opportunity in government contracting for you. We just got to find out where it is on a local, state, and federal level, and then we can target it. So the way that you do that is through some market research. And I know that that's a loaded term. And we show you how to do market research in our program, but these are some of the sites that you can go and you can actually do market research to find new opportunities, existing opportunities. We can go and use some of these websites to find out, okay, I want to find out where they're going to spend the money in the future, so let me go to find out where they spent it in the past. So you want to go to sam.gov, that's for new active solicitations and advertisements. FPDS, that's going to be where you are able to go and find out where the money was spent, so that we can find out where it's going to be spent. State and local portals, there's so many different state and local portals. Here on the local, we got all the different agencies, JAA, JTA, JIA, DCPS, all of that good stuff. And then remember, acquisition.gov, if we want to find out where the money's going in the future, this is where we go and we find our forecasts. So right now, Q1, this is where we need to be going to find out where are they planning on spending the money in 2025. So I can do what Jonel said, which is to reach out to people and start building that relationship, letting them know who I am so that they know me, like me, trust me. And even if the opportunity isn't today in the present, I'm in position for when it comes through tomorrow in the future. Any questions so far? All right, so I got 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes? Perfect. All right. I told him. All right. Okay, so All right, maybe 10, maybe 10. I'll be done by 1. So who are the key players in government contracting? Who do you actually want to get in contact with and let them know this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I deliver value? Well, it all depends on your strategy in government contracting. Are you trying to win contracts directly, which is what most people do? But that isn't the only way to win money in government contracting. You can also do teaming and partnering with prime contractors. You can even do something, what is a little known thing called white label 1099 service, to where basically you have your own business, I have my own business, you bring me on as 1099 and I wear your shirt. This is how we can use that strategy and get creative. Yeah, I just blew your mind, right? So this is how we can use creative strategies to learn the rules of the game and play the game by the rules, because these are the rules of the game. We can swap, we may not be able to do that as employees, but we can do that as 1099. If you've ever heard of 8As and different things like that, to where now the Alaskan Native 8As, they're what we call they call them super 8As. And they have worked together collaboratively, because we can collaborate. We can't collude, but we can collaborate. They're similar, but they're not the same. And now I'm at the top. But then when I get ready to go expire, because 8A has a limited term, now I'm in a group of people, and now we just put you at the top. And when you get ready to expire, we put somebody else at the top, and we keep moving that way. This is how we can utilize these different prime and subcontracting opportunities outside of just winning money directly to our business. So I want you to be mindful of those different things. And just like Jonel said, many people, they don't pay attention to the relationship aspect of government contracting. So industry days and networking events will help you do that. You got to go and meet the right people here on a local level. If you're not already, I recommend you, this is a shameless plug for JSEB, to get JSEB certified. Administrator Grant is doing some amazing things here in the city on a local level. JSEB is the Jacksonville Small Emerging Business Program. They are now located in City Hall on the 2nd floor, Suite 250. So if you're interested in the JSEB program, I would recommend to you get certified here on a local level, or at the very least, reach out to Administrator Grant and let them know, and build a relationship with them and let them know you're interested in doing government contracting. And then there's some other industry associations. I actually am on the executive board of NCMA, the local chapter. There's also NIGP, the National Institute of Government Procurement, and NASPO, NASPO, National Association of State Procurement Officials. Joining these associations will allow you to meet the people who actually work in the government. They work in the government. They work in large primes. And you build a relationship through the association. Now you just don't seem like a hungry business person coming off the street. We already have a relationship and an existing connection through this association. So these are some strategic ways that you can do that. So, as Jonel said, these are some of the different resource partners, and I mentioned to you, we got the SBDC and the Apex Accelerators over at UNF right around the street. Jonel's here, representing the Small Business Association. They're located off of Bay Meadows. And then there's also private government contracting, training, and consulting, things like this program here. So, you see how I just rolled right into that? Want me to go back for you? I see it in your eyes. I see it in your eyes real quick. All right, so if this has interested you in any way and you are interested in doing business with the government, we have a curated program specific for individuals who are interested in starting, scaling, and sustaining in government contracting. We like to target what we call tier 1 businesses. So if you've been in business at least 3 to 5 years and you got it between $30,000 and $500,000 in annual revenue, we'd like to talk about how we can help you grow and scale in government contracting. So what is this program? P3 is our program. It has 8 different modules. 5 of them are education modules, and then we have the post-education support modules, because studies and our research has shown us that education is one thing, but you need that post-education for implementation to create the impact, because that's another thing. So we educate you, and then we support you, and we coach you, and we go through real-world scenarios and things like that. So we got the tailored curriculum, And then we want to make sure that no matter what your industry is, this program, its purpose is to help fuel economic growth. And if you don't know, economy is built on small businesses, on a local level, on a national level. So we want to be able to help more people be prepared to grow and succeed in government contracting, no matter what your business is, because that's going to help everybody. You, that's going to help the local government, that's going to help the national government. We all win, and we love to create symbiotic relationships. So what are the course components? We go through the procurement life cycle. That's module 1. We want to teach you about the procurement life cycle, the different ways that you can make money in government contracting, through schedules, through different types of solicitations, through the GSA, through simplified acquisition, all of those different things. So we go through what is the procurement life cycle. Then we go through and we teach you how to read a proposal. Because remember, I shared, sometimes they're 10 pages, sometimes they're 100 pages. We need to be able to, because we got limited time, we need to be able to know how to read a proposal and make what's called a go, no-go decision. We don't need to be standing all day reading 100 pages for something that we may not even submit, because our time is our money. So we want to make sure that we understand how to read a proposal so that we can make quick go, no-go decisions. We also want to make sure that we understand the strategies to increase your bid frequency realistically. A lot of people say, hey, I want to do 10 bids a month. Well, you know, it's less likely for you to go to from 0 to 10 than it is to go from 0 to 3, and then from 3 to 5, and so on and so forth. So we'll show you how to increase your bid frequency through partnerships and show you what we call off RFP strategies that you can win not only through solicitation, but through those other methods that I shared with you as well, where you don't necessarily win directly, but the government, you still do get money from the government, and you still do service the government. And then last but not least, my favorite module, which is market research. Because when you go to some of these resources, they'll tell you, you need to do your market research, which is the what, but they don't necessarily show you the how. So we go through and we show you how to search FPDS. We show you how to search SAM.gov. We show you how to do market research on a local level to search the Florida Accountability Contract Tracking System, to do public records requests, to pull old information so that they can help you with your estimating for the future. We walk you through all of those different things to show you how to actually do it, because we want you to sustain without us. We want to show you how to fish, not teach you one specific way how to fish. I want to teach you the concept of fishing, and then if you want to fly fish, go ahead. If you want to go deep sea fishing, go ahead. If you want to just fish from the bank, go ahead. Whatever works best for you. So that's our claim to fame. What makes this course different, as I've shared with you, is practicum based, and I want to be respectful of Randolph's time here, so I'm going to speed through a little bit quickly here. So what deliverables will you get from this? Well, you've got support, we've got resources, we've got pre-curated resources in here, like all of the different directors of all of the different agencies, locally and nationally, like specific procurement strategies that you can use in the pre-solicitation and post-solicitation. So no matter what you want to do, we've got something for you. So if this is something that you're interested in, scan that QR code, join our wait list. No cost to you. All you got to do is scan the QR code, complete the form, and then you also have the opportunity to join the wait list. And if you're really interested, you say, hey, TR, this is something where I actually want to put some skin in the game. I actually want to move forward with this. Wait till everybody gets it real quick. Did you just take a picture with your...
Yeah.
Whoa. We got to talk afterwards. Anyways. Just took a picture with her glasses. I just saw a little light click right there. Anywho, so the future is now, right? Ain't that what the commercials say? Okay, so if you are really interested, we have what's called a deposit program. So you can actually put a small deposit down, and what we've done is it allows you to it's basically like purchasing a $50 coupon, because what that allows us to do is go and pursue funding, So this isn't a free program. I want to be upfront with that. If you're interested, we can talk about how much it costs. However, we are trying to do something about the cost of it, and this will help us do that. Because what this does is when I go and I find a funder, I say, hey, I have people that are interested. As a matter of fact, Mr. Potential Funder, I've got people that are so interested that they put a small deposit down. Please help us fund this program so that we can provide it to them low cost, no cost, or reduced cost. So if you're very, very interested, help us make the cost of the program, bring it down as much as possible, and you can join the deposit list at this QR code right here for those who are interested. Now, whether you sign up or not, I appreciate your energy, attention, and respect, and I would like a review from you, and this is no cost at all. So everybody, pull out all your phones here, and tell me what you liked about the presentation, what you didn't, what you wanted to be added to it. And there is a free resource here. You're going to need to enter the code SMART GOALS, no space, SMART GOALS with an S, and you'll get our free SMART GOALS as a resource to download to help you develop some SMART goals for your business, for government contracting, for whatever it is that you need. All right, any questions so far? SMART goals. SMART goals. So SMART like we all are, and goals like FIFA with an S. No space, so it's a compound word. All right, everybody, that's my time most definitely. I appreciate your energy, attention, and respect, everybody. Take my seat, and we do our next raffle, right?
My next question is, do I start now?
Now.
and everybody, please, one more hand for Jonel Hein for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
November 21st. Okay. I'll reach out.
Okay.
All right. All right, y'all. We're about to do a couple more raffles, and then I'm going to get into my presentation. All right. This right here is for the Magic Bullet. It mixes fruit. This is a family-friendly event. All right, let's go. Magic Bullet goes to Jonel Love, relation. And please tell people, who are you and what do you do and who is your perfect customer?
So my name is Jonel Love. I bake cakes. Loves Red Velvet Temptation, and that's all I do. Right? I am a nurse, but I thought we were talking about business. Yeah, I am a registered nurse. I am a pediatric nurse. I work with children, but business-wise, I bake cakes and cupcakes. Red Velvet in particular.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Red Velvet specifically. Hold on. Let me say this. Has anybody ever ordered a red velvet cake and it just tastes like red chocolate cake? Was it traumatizing? You still think about it to this day? If you want red velvet cake that tastes like literal fabric, expensive, luxurious fabric on your tongue, like velvet, please talk to Jonel Love with Love's Red Velvet Temptation. All right. Anybody ever heard of Blanton's? Now, this is some very good single barrel bourbon whiskey. Now, I didn't start liking single barrel bourbon whiskey and scotch until I got an accountant. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but this is a very, it's, some people might call it expensive, but I just call it a rite of passage. So this is what we're doing it for the nice. And if you don't, and by the way, if anybody didn't know this about Blanton's, I believe it's 8 caps. If you collect all 8 caps of the Blanton's bottle, you can sell them online for at least $1,800. So there's about 8 of these caps, and each of them has a letter on it. Let's see, what letter is this one? This is the T. So if you collect all of the caps and it spells Blanton, that's $1,800 you can get. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Teresita Allen. How do I pronounce it?
It's Teresita.
Teresita Allen. Please tell people, who are you? What do you do? She don't like talking. She don't want to talk about herself. We're gonna take it back.
My name is Teresita. I have an organization called Predestined Womb where I help single mommies. I also host conferences. I decorate conferences. And I normally share my testimony at those conferences. So.
All right, there you go. All right, everybody, and as you know, once I finish my short and brief yet informative presentation, we are going to be raffling off the MetaQuest 3S Metaverse goggles. These goggles are actually better than the ones I got. Like when I saw it, I almost made I had an integrity decision, but I came out on the right side, y'all. So after we finish my brief presentation, we're gonna get into these some nice goggles, $400 pair of goggles, y'all. All right, so maybe somebody took the clicker. TR. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. So, has anybody ever heard the phrase "all truths are parallel"? Anybody ever heard that before? What it means is what's usually true and workable in one facet of life is true and workable in the other facet. Before you eat something, you should know where this food comes from. A lot of you came here because you knew the source of the food was Maggiano's, and you knew it was quality food. You knew you had good experiences with this food. Before you drink something, you should know exactly where this liquid, where this fluid that you put into your mouth comes from, because it could have pathogens in it. It could have things that could hurt you, things that could cause you bodily harm. The same goes for information. It's to the point now, information is so rampant and so readily available, we don't always check the source. But that's very important. Just like the food, just like the drink, the information should be validated. Well, just so you know, my name is Randolph Love III. I've been in the insurance and financial services industry for over a decade. I am a chartered financial consultant. I am a chartered life underwriter. I am a chartered property casualty underwriter. I am a fellow Life Management Institute, and that's just a few of the professional designations I have. What it means is, yes, I have more letters after my name than in my name, right? You know, that's one truth. But the other truth is I actually took the time to read and take these standardized exams and learn all of this stuff in order to make myself readily available. But that being said, what if I sat and read a book about swimming for 5 years, but I never swam? Does that mean anything? Well, let me tell you how I swim. I am a pre-licensing and continuing educated provider with the Florida Department of Financial Services. Over the past 2 years, I've taught over 1,000 adult students. I helped them get their licenses. I helped them do their continuing education. I taught rooms full of people such as this. I provide training and consulting to corporate, federal, state, and local governing agencies. If any of you have a team of at least 5 or more people, I'll happily come to your offices and talk about how you can make money, make babies, right? Have anybody heard that term, how to make money, make babies? If you can impregnate a $100 bill, would you not? All night long, right? All night long, all right? Well, if you want to do it, you can do it right? I assist individuals and business owners with effective tax minimalization wealth strategies. No, I'm not the one that's going to be sitting there going through all your papers trying to put together this kaleidoscope of information so we can try to save you $2 on your taxes. I'm the one that you talk to beforehand when you're trying to be proactive instead of reactive, okay? Also, I have over a decade of experience, like I said, and as you see on your table, I am a partner and franchise consultant with the franchise consulting company. If any of you have ever considered turning your business into a franchise, please holler at me. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, right? And if you've built something that you figured out works, and now you're to the point to where you created a system, you perfected your system. If anybody knows how these quadrants work, the next step is to invest in other people's system. And what you can do is you can set your company up to where you become the system that people invest in. And that's how we do it. That's where you're going with it? Let's do it. All right, so just to get into my quick presentation, who would you say is the worst business partner you can ever have? Somebody with no money. I heard family. Say that. Somebody you came up with, somebody who feels like they know you too well for you to ever elevate, right? No work ethic, right? What if I told you I wanted to be your business partner, right? But What I wanted to do is I want you to go out and I want you to go to all these meetings. I want you to shake hands. I want you to build the relationships. I want you to spend out all of your money. I want you to shake hands, kiss babies. I want you to work from sun up to sundown, but I don't want to do nothing. But at the end of the day, I won't have. Would you take me as a business partner? What if I said, not only do I won't have, I want to have the right to change the terms of our agreement at any point. Would you take me as a business partner? If I got all the cash, maybe. But if you paying everything, who did I just describe? Right? And guess what they try to tell you? They try to tell you that, hey, listen, I know that we had a bad deal, bad contract, but go ahead and put your money into this IRA because you're a business owner, so you can't get a 401k, but you can get an IRA, but you can't put more than $6,500 a year in this thing. And we expect you to use this in retirement. What's $6,500? 75 if you're over the age of 50. What is it, 50? Right? What is this money going to do? Even if you're able to save the maximum every year for the next 30 years, what does that equal? Right? And then when you put together that it's put into what they call volatile markets, if you actually pull up in anybody, if anybody has a 401k or IRA, please reach out to them and say, hey, can you please print out my what I've been doing from when I first got it started to now? You will notice very quickly that you've been losing 20 to 30% of your principal every 3 to 4 years. So not only are you strategically limited from getting to that money, you're losing 20 to 30% of your principal every 3 to 4 years, and you mess around, you can't even pull it out till you're 59 and a half. And if you pull it out before you're 59 and a half, you get taxed and you get penalized. Listen. Yeah. Hey, but here's the thing. I work, just so y'all know, I'm also a public insurance adjuster. That means on a daily basis, I would fight insurance companies. I would fight them on the general public's behalf in order to get money. But just because I know on one side, they kind of, little shady, that don't mean on the other side I can't be like, oh, but can I utilize this data that they have? Like, how many people work with people that, you probably wouldn't hang out with as friends, but they do what they say they're going to do when it comes to that business, right? So even with the insurance companies, even with the government, you know what I mean? Like I say, you just got to put everybody in their category. So let me ask y'all this. If I took $1 and I doubled it every day for the next 20 days, what would that equal? A lot of money. If you take $1 one day, then $2 the next, then $4 the next, then $8 the next, then $16 the next, then $32 the next, then $64 the next. After just doing that 20 times, that equals $1,048,576. That's a lot of money, right? But, oh yes, you know what time it is. So what happened if you just apply just a 25% tax rate to that? That same dollar just dropped to over $1 million down to $72,570.64. Now, I believe I got a lot of successful people in this room. Even if you're not currently today, I see it coming. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all make it to a 33% tax bracket. Guess what that 33% tax bracket just did to that dollar? Knocked it down to $27,362.05. It's like having a job. So what do y'all think is going to happen in the future? Y'all think taxes is going to be lower, the same, or higher in the future? Everything that goes up, except taxes. It keeps going up, right? I think it's going to be higher in the future. So the question is how do you get out of this rat race? Well, guess what they tell you about these qualified retirement accounts? They say, hey, it's better to pay taxes today because in the future, your tax is going to be lower. Anybody heard that? What did I tell y'all? All truths are parallel. If you actually talk to the people who are retired, they'll tell you their tax rate is the same, if not higher. All truths are parallel. If you were a farmer and I gave you the option to pay taxes on what it costs to buy you a handful of seeds or what a field full of crops are worth, which would you rather pay? Taxes on a handful of seeds or a field full of crops? what's different about your money? Why are you putting off the taxes on the seeds in order to pay the taxes on the crop? And keep in mind, they can change this number at any time. I'd rather pay my taxes on this handful of seeds today and then let the money make babies, as they say. All right, so y'all, I do a whole situation where I talk about this whole, how all this is set up, but today we're talking about right here, cash value life insurance. And just so you know, this right here, this is my family bank, right? Nobody knows the name of my family bank. Nobody needs, yeah, it exists. Yeah, my family bank exists, right? But guess what? It owns all of my stuff, right? Because guess what? If I ever get sued, anybody ever tries to sue me, Randolph Love, do you have a bank account? No. Randolph Love, do you have any cryptocurrency? No. Randolph Love, do you have any market funds? No. Randolph Love, do you have any cash value? No. Because me as a flesh and blood entity doesn't have it. My entity on paper has it. Do you know why they call these business entities? Because they're people on paper. Y'all are people in the flesh. Everything that a business on paper can do, a person in the flesh, Ben could be able to do it. We're just not educated on it. So let me tell you about how we can have cash value life insurance owned by your private entity and how it could work, right? Now, before I get into this, y'all, I want to ask y'all, is there anybody who doesn't like when people find legal ways to avoid taxes? Nobody want to say it? Now, I know y'all at the house be like, that billionaire should pay more taxes. Right? I know y'all said it. I know you said it. I know you said it. Hey, but don't be so sure of what you want that you wouldn't accept something better. You think you want these billionaires to pay a bunch of money in taxes, but what's really happening is you're upset that you have to cover the bill. What if there's a way that you could have it set up to where you don't have to pay unnecessary taxes? Now, I'm not telling you not to pay taxes so you can be greedy. Listen, it's a reason why America is home of the free, land of the brave. It's because taxes are paid and they need to protect us, right? Listen, I'm not saying don't pay taxes. All I'm saying is if you can avoid paying unnecessary taxes, and let's say if you made $100,000 a year, instead of spending out $30,000 in taxes, you were able to keep that money and actually spend it on the charities that you know, like, and trust. Actually spend it to the friends and family that you know, like. And now when your friends and family come to you money, you can't be like, oh, no, I don't give money to friends and family. Well, who do you give money to? They messed up our mind. Why is it that we're trained not to give money to friends and family? But we'll give money to a stranger. What it is we need to change our mindset. The reason why we're trained not to give money to friends and family is because we believe they're not going to pay us back. Some of them ain't paying us back on purpose, but some of them just don't got it, right? What if you had your life set up to where you had a budget every year to where you could give instead of loan? Would that not change the dynamic? Somebody that you know, love, and trust needs some money, instead of saying, hey, bro, I can't, if I give you money, we won't be friends. You can say, all right, well, shoot, my budget is $30,000 every year to give. Here's $1,000. Or somebody wants to stay in your house. Nah, you can't stay with me, but I pay for your hotel for the next week. It's my gift because I'm your friend, right? You need to set up things like this to help you do that, right? Now, like I said, don't be so sure of what you want that you wouldn't accept something better. And y'all, I'm just setting this up. If I try to go into the deep details of it, then I might lose some of you. But what I said, all truths are. That means that what's usually workable in one facet of life is workable in another. What creative things can you do with baking soda? And I know we close to the north side, so we ain't talking. I grew up on the north side. We're not talking about what they do with the baking soda. I can say that. I grew up there. I can say that. I grew up there. Yeah, make good. Hey, who can think of some things, right? So, and listen, I've heard people say all sorts of things: mouthwash, teeth whitener, deodorant, fridge odor neuter, air freshener, kitchen cleaner, garbage odor eliminator. But what most people don't say is what it was actually made for. You said it, right? But it was made for cooking. Don't think about what it is. Think about what it does. What if I told you there was something that was liquor? Whenever you need to get to the money, you can get to it within 1 to 3 days, right? What if I told you it was something that was safe, that you can go to sleep at night and wake up and your money's still there? Anybody had their money in 401ks back in 2008? Yeah. The market crashed, right? Yeah. I was actually at work and I saw people, you know how they do the retirement dinner, right? They give them their watch. It was two gentlemen. They were retiring from the Winn-Dixie warehouse, right? And they gave them their watch. We did the whole celebration. Everything was good. They retired that week. The very next week, the market crashed. They were right back at work. That because it doesn't matter if you have 500 plus thousand in a 401k. If it's tied to a volatile stock market, you're going to be hurt. What about rate of return? Now, most people, when you come to somebody and they ask you about an investment or a money vehicle, somewhere to put their money, most people are going to ask, well, what's the rate of return? What if I told you I had an investment right now to where you earn 100% a day for the rest of your life, but you can't get to it? And when you go to sleep, it might be completely gone when you wake up the next morning. Is it worth having something that's 100% a day? So you want to make sure these two things are taken care of first before you start talking about rate of return. And then that's when we get to tax free. Because what's the point of if it's liquid, you can get to it within 1 to 3 days. If it's safe, when you go to sleep, you don't wake up and all of your principal is gone. If you have a good rate of return is when you go to get the money. Then what I told you, that business partner comes and take everything. So I'm going to leave y'all with this, y'all. The solution that I'm talking about is a properly structured, match-funded, index universal life policy. Properly structured. I didn't say VUL, I said IUL. I didn't say whole life, I said IUL. Why don't I like whole life policies, y'all? That's because with a whole life policy, yes, it's liquid. You can get to the money within 1 to 3 days. Yes, it's safe, meaning that you don't have to go to sleep and wake up and the money gone. But the rate of return sucks. If y'all actually want to see what your rate of return or your whole life policy is, this is what you do. It's a very simple formula, y'all. You take how much your available cash value is, and then you subtract how many premiums you paid into it. So your available cash value, and then how many premiums that you paid into it. And then whatever the difference is, you divide it by how many premiums you paid into it. What you will discover, and I know for a fact this is what you're going to discover because I've seen hundreds of these policies. What you will discover is that policy is only generating less than 5% aggregate return. Meaning that over all these years, you only earned 5%. Now listen, 5% is better than nothing, but I'd rather have a properly structured index universal life policy to where if when 7 out of 10 years it's earning an average 8 to 11% tax free. So hey, I'm about to show y'all this. Now this is how your money is usually set up. Your money is usually set up where a majority of our money is in qualified retirement accounts. And that's IRAs, 403Ds, 457 plans, deferred comp plans. And then on the other side of it is LIFO, meaning that all the money that you put into it, when you go to pull money out, they're not going to let you pull the money that you put in that's already been paid taxes on it. They're going to force you to pull from the interest first so they can keep taxing you, right? This is how your money should be set up. You should have at least 40% of your money in a tax-free setup. At least 40% of your money should be in a tax-free setup. How do we do it? So you want it to be tax-free and you want it to be protected from market losses. So I'm going to show y'all something. And this is something I do a regular presentation to people that are 60, 70 plus years old. And when I tell them this is the first time they ever seen it. So if you're younger than 70, consider yourself blessed that you're about to learn this sooner than they did. So what if we had $100,000, y'all, and it went up 50%? What's 50% of $100,000? $50,000. So if it goes up 50%, then that means it just went up to $150,000, right? All right. So if your money goes up 50,000, goes down 50,000, goes up 50,000, and I mean 50%, goes down 50%, goes up 50%, you just broke even, right? That's what they want you to think. This is what it looks like when your money is in the market. Yes, 50% of 100,000 is 50,000. So if it goes up 50%, you just went up to 150,000. What's 50% of 150,000? So if it went up 50 and it goes down 50 and it goes up 50 and it goes down 50, actually, you just lost this money, right? You started at 100, and when you look on paper, it seems like you broke even. And you can't tell because you've been contributing every 2 weeks out of your paycheck. But if you actually look at what happened, this is what your money looks like. And on paper, your financial advisor is going to tell you, oh, well, we just broke even. Y'all, these are real numbers. These are real numbers from January 2000 to March 2020. So what did I tell you? So if you lose 50,000, if 50% of 100,000 is 50,000, so really and truly you need double. Whatever you need double to break even, right? So if you start at 100,000 and you lose 50%, that puts you at 50,000, right? But then if it goes up 50%, that's only 25,000, right? So if you lose 50, you need 100 to break even. So y'all keep that in mind. Whatever I lose, I need at least double to break even. So look at this market, y'all. And all of y'all had if you had your money in a qualified retirement account, oh man, it's perfect. If you had your money in a qualified retirement account or directly in the indexes, this is your money, y'all. You did good this first part, but guess what? Over the next 3 years, you lost 43.59% of your money. So let's call that 44% just to break it even. If you lost 44, how much do you need to break even? 88. So guess what? You lost 44. Over the next 3 years, anybody know anybody that gamble? They only gonna tell you about when they win, right? They ain't gonna tell you about when they lose. So all of your friends with their money put directly in the market, they're gonna tell you that they just did 32.19%, right? They're not gonna tell you about all of this. And guess what? If they lost 44, they needed 88 to break even. Guess what? Over the next 3 years, they only made 57.34%. So whoever had their money directly didn't even break even yet before the market went back down again. And if anybody has ever had a 401k at a job and then left that job, what happened to those 401k? It keeps going down. What? And if it goes up slightly. It's because you're no longer contributing to it and you're no longer can be fooled by the way these mathematical numbers work. Y'all, if your money was in an IUL, you might only earn 11%, right? Because look, I did the math for you. If you start at 100,000 and this happened, yeah, you made money. You made $237.41. So you're 100,000. If you had 100,000 starting in January 2000 and you went to March 2020, you earned $91,000 on your money. After fees and taxes, it would have came out to $157,931.52. In just 20 years, y'all, that's not enough. What if you had $100,000 in a properly structured index universal life policy, meaning that when the market goes up, you benefit, but when it goes down, you lose nothing. You don't gain nothing that year, but you lose nothing. But most of the indexes we have are capped at 11%. Now, there are some uncapped indexes, but I like to underpromise and overdeliver, right? If you are a business owner and you put all of your money into this type of situation, guess what? That 100,000, you earned that year, but you lost nothing in these 3 years. You earned these 4 years, but you lost nothing in these 2 years. That 100,000 turned to $285,640.40, tax free. You get rid of that business partner that's been taking your money and having you do all of the work, right? So y'all, this is just a teaser, right? If you want to know more, all you have to do is reach out to me. My name is Randolph Love III. You can scan your cards. Just scan it. You can set an appointment with me. And if you do set an appointment, I will give you a very hefty discount. But I want to thank y'all for allowing me to speak to you, okay? You laughing because you know I left you right over there. I like to get you right there and then pull it back, right? All right, y'all, so I'm about to do the last raffle so we can get y'all out of here, everybody. Did everybody enjoy yourselves? Yes. Did everybody learn something today? Yes. I want to thank T.R. Richardson for sharing his knowledge. I want to thank Jonel Hein. Yeah, give him a clap up for him. Thank Jonel. And I want to thank Randolph Love, that guy. I mean, whenever I call him, he shows up and he does his thing. All right, y'all, so here is... And what we are raffling off is this PowerPoint controller. I'm just joking. All right, so this is the last raffle. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ariel Purcell? No? Oh. Thank you for not showing up, I heard. Oh, man, you already got your... Oh, no. Hold on. What? Oh, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. My bad, bro. I got to tell you something. Nah, this can't be right.
You put the name right there.
No. Do it. But she always wins stuff at my events. But I don't never see her outside of those events. Shakira Thomas.
I'll be right on time.
Please tell people, who are you, what are you doing, who's your favorite customer here?
I'm Shakira Thomas. I'm a joy seeker, but my money comes from real estate. My passion, I would say, is advocacy in housing. That's a major thing for us, especially here in Jacksonville. My primary customer is anybody who wants a financial blessing, potentially, something to invest in. So if you're looking into real estate and you feel that's good for you, then you could be my customer.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. You keep doing your thing. All right, y'all. And just so you know, that's the first, every event we do from here on out, I want to include the Metaverse goggles. If you're not locking into the Metaverse, you are behind. Anybody remember when they were talking about the internet back in the early 90s? And some people were saying it was just a... Nah, this is it. The sooner y'all can get y'all business in the Metaverse, the better. And that's something that I'm going to be doing my part by, introducing people and bringing it more and more people into the Metaverse. So I want to thank you again for coming out. Please mark your calendars, November 21st, same time. November 21st, we're doing another one here at Maggiano's. And if you send us some suggestions, we might switch up the menu. Or maybe, did y'all like the eggplant and the lasagna and the salmon? All right. So we're going to do this. Mark your calendars, November 21st. And I want to thank you again, and I hope you enjoy yourselves and have a safe trip back home. So we're changing the desserts here,
I